Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
How are you this morning? Well, it's afternoon, I think, where you're at, but morning here. But I'm doing well.
Good, good. You excited about the theme launch?
Oh, most definitely. This is one of those that I've been waiting on. I think the community has been too.
Definitely, definitely. I'm excited about this one. It's going to be a good one. Okay, we're going to start shortly. For this AMA, it's going to be the same structure. We're going to be talking to Lucas Lee, who's the CEO and founder of Affyn, and he's going to be running us through all the great information about Affyn. Then we're going to take it to Twitter, and there's been hundreds of Twitter questions. So we are going to run through a few of the Twitter questions, and then we're going to open it up to the community for 120 seconds. And of course, prizes up for grabs, and it's going to be in the form of Matic. So yeah, let's get it cracking. Hi, Lucas Lee. Don't know if you can hear me. I can see you on the chat.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, wait. Let me on my camera. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I can see you now. How's it going?
Good. Yeah. I'm really excited to join this AMA to meet everybody here.
Nice. We're excited to have you here in the Gamestation community. So thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, of course. Anytime. Okay, perfect. So super duper excited. So we've got Lucas Lee, who's the CEO and founder of Affyn, and I would love for you to introduce yourself. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you can introduce yourself in a team, but I heard that someone in your team forfeited a partnership with one of the big four accountancy firms. So you want to go into that?
Yeah, sure. Maybe let me first share a little background about myself.
Yeah, of course.
So for me, I've been in the lifestyle industry for over 9 years, doing sales and marketing, and mostly leading teams all around the world, globally. So I've been exposed to different cultures, different languages, different kind of people, all across the 9 to 10 years. Basically, very involved in the people business. I was exposed to blockchain and crypto since 2016. I was intrigued. My very first purchase was Ethereum, and I was intrigued by what Ethereum could do and how blockchain could really revolutionize the future. So that was almost 6 years ago already, and I felt that even though there's a lot of technical advancement in the past 6 years, but there's not much fundamental change in the fact that 6 years ago people buy crypto for the purpose of speculation. 6 years later, it's still the very same purpose. Nobody is really buying it for the purpose of actually using it. So one of the reasons why I started Affyn, I want to change that. I want to make it such that the mainstream users purchase crypto for the purpose of actually using it rather than profit or speculation reasons. So that's one of the reasons why I started Affyn. And the second reason why I started Affyn is because I've always liked the idea of a community where people come together, have fun together, and that's why the name Affyn, it's short for affinity, right? Yeah, and so actually the whole inspiration behind Affyn actually started from, I started asking, what if there was a way where people could earn financially by spending time with their family and friends? It actually came up. It was a really intriguing idea. What if there was a way? So Affyn was inspired by this question, and it led to where we are today. Now, of course, I know that to execute this vision, it's not possible by one person, right? It has to be executed by a team, and I know my own strengths and my weakness, right? So I needed a co-founder who could complement all my weaknesses. And if you have read Affyn's white paper, and if you see what we have been trying to do, it's one of the unique selling point is that we want to create a real world utility, and in order to achieve that, okay, it's not so straightforward. It has to have comply with regulations. You need licensing and stuff like that. So take for example, in Singapore, we need what we call the PSA license, Payment Service Act license, and in order to achieve that, one of the key criteria, I needed a credible chief financial officer, a CFO, right? And so to find a capable CFO, it's not easy already. That's number one. Number two, it's more important to find a CFO who is also, and very importantly, trustworthy, because the CFO can screw your whole, the entire business, right? So thankfully, one of my best friends, I knew him for almost 17 to 18 years already to date. He is one of the director in one of the big 4 audit firms in the world. So he's almost turning partner already in a couple of years' time. And I convinced him to give up his partnership for Affyn. So it wasn't easy, because people like that, are very analytical. They are very detailed. They need structure. They need numbers. They need facts and figures. You cannot tell them a good story and bullshit these kind of people. You need to give them a very clear, structured, detailed plan with ROI, when you're gonna do it, what you're gonna do, etc., etc. So there's no bullshit with these kind of people. It took me quite some time, and for him to be convinced, that's one thing, but to also convince him of giving up his partnership, okay, that is another thing. so thankfully, he saw the vision of Affyn, and he quit his job and gave up all his 10 years of work in the audit, one of the big 4, okay, to come on board full time with Affyn. So this really, it's very telling of how confident he is of our future forward. Yep. So he's not in the white paper. That's one of the deals that we make together. That will only be revealed in March, mid of March this year. Yep.
Oh wow, okay, that's amazing. Thanks for that breakdown. That is really, really cool. Yeah, I heard a similar story about one of your partners that gave up working for one of the top account firms, which I think is really good. I think it says a lot about his belief in the project, if he's going to do that. So definitely very, very true. Thank you so much for the breakdown about yourself and your history and everything like that. So you've been in the crypto space for quite a while, which is great to know. So this is really, really great. What I really, really, really liked about the whole of Affyn, when I was looking at it, it gave me that whole feeling of like mobile, geolocation based, the whole Pokemon Go feel. I don't know, you probably get that a lot, right? I'm sure. So it'll be great to understand like a bit more about Affyn, like what is it going to do against its competitors? What are we going to do to get mass adoption? Things like that.
Yeah, so Affyn is very inspired. It's inspired by Pokemon Go, because I'm seeing how Pokemon Go have really brought people together. Going downstairs or go to some park there, go all the way to find characters. And it becomes a common topic of different generations, from grandchildren play with grandparents, So it was inspired by this. And I was thinking, what if there was a way really people could do this and get rewarded financially? They would play even harder, right? So and if with a play to earn economy integrated into a Pokemon Go concept, right? I think this would be mind blowing, right? And that's how we wanted Affyn to become. And of course, against its competitor, it's very simple. Okay. First, because when we talk about play to earn blockchain games, right? There are a couple of them like X Infinity and Sandbox, Decentraland, all the big companies. But all these are all desktop bound. Where people stay at home, they play in front of the computer, they connect with others virtually. All right. Whereas ours, it's very mobile based. It's geolocation, and where our players connect with their friends and family physically. Right. That makes a very big difference. Right? That's number one. Number two, is that their target market are mostly gamers. Right. And when we talk about gaming industry, it's not just play to earn blockchain gaming. It's that is happening right now. The whole general industry, the gaming industry, is booming. So more and more games are coming up. And when more and more games are coming up, the competition gets stronger and stronger, but they're all fighting for the very same pie, which is, it's a bloodbath in the red ocean. The pie is the same, you see. So we want to compete in that space. Our target market, we are targeting the mainstream people, the non-crypto and non-gamers. And that is the much bigger pie. right? And it's completely untapped. So like Pokemon Go, you see, you don't really see gamers actually playing Pokemon Go. You see, different demographics, all kind of people playing Pokemon Go, right? So that's where we are targeting, and that's where we have very
Ah, brilliant. I like that. I like that. So I like how you explain the demographic and who you're targeting. So you want people to just enjoy family, friends, ways of them making money and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. Also you mentioned about Affyn that their solution is to maintain a sustainable growing game economy. So how is Affyn going to onboard gamers and encourage mass adoption? Because I know a lot of them, like you said, are not natural gamers, for example.
Yep.
So how would you do that
Okay. If you look at current blockchain games, right? They if you see some of them are doing advertising, trying to attract users, okay, but it's not doing very well. Okay, I'll give you an example. Sandbox, right? So they have been so if you look at Facebook, they have been advertising, trying to attract users in, but it's not working very well. Okay, reason why it's because to start the game, a normal person have to set up a crypto wallet to buy crypto and then buy NFT. And I mean, just to set up a crypto wallet, it's already I'm not going to start already. The barrier of entry is too complicated because you are changing consumer behavior. You see, right? Okay, so we are doing two things. Okay, that is completely different to what they are doing. Number one, ours is free to play, and our registration process is as simple as you registering a TikTok account, right? So when you register a TikTok account, it's okay, connect to Facebook. You have an account already, right? So that's what we want to do. We don't want to change consumers' behavior. We want it to be the same. Oh, register, they start playing, they can start earning some rewards, and they can see some tokens inside already, everything. But it's only when they want to withdraw, they are already vested, they already have, incentive to go and learn. Then they go and set up their wallets and stuff like that. So using mobile, right? Okay, it's much more effective to drive market penetration into the mainstream adoption, because desktop it's not everybody, but mobile that will be widespread, okay, using this method. So that's number one. Number two, we're going to use something that's relatable to most users, using the lifestyle aspect of it as a funnel system into the metaverse. So what I mean by that, if you use the game, right, you are telling people, hey, you want to play a game or not? People are like, I don't play games, right? So it's not easy to use lead by attracting people through the game. But if you use lifestyle, for example, let's say travel. Do you love to travel? Kathy, do you love to travel?
Yeah, I love traveling.
Yeah, you love travel. Most people love travel. Know and love to travel. So if let's say I'm telling you, if you can go to Paris at $69 for 4 days, 3 nights, would you come in it?
Of course I'm going.
Right. Let's say it's 5 of hotel. So using this method, all right, people will be like, I don't care about game, I don't care about anything. I'm going to register an account. I'm going to figure out how to buy your token to go on the $69 trip to Paris Sofitel. And then they register in already. We drive large numbers of number in, okay, and then drive them into the metaverse. Really? So using the live, and then when they use it, learning it, they start that value of Affyn token. And that's where they find out how to earn more of this, and that's where they go into the metaverse to play it. Yeah, so that's how.
Okay. I like the way you think. I like that. I like that you said that it's so easy to set up, because I think it's good that you touched up on that, because people that are not crypto users, telling them to set up a wallet, they're acting like it's completely understandable. It doesn't make any sense to them, but telling them to set up a TikTok account is so simple. So the fact that you've explained that it's that simple to do, I think that's a really great way of getting non-crypto users into the whole crypto space. And like you said about the whole traveling, when people want a good deal, they're going to figure out how to get their tokens and all that good stuff. So I like that you addressed that. So you made it clear that for people to start earning, there's no initial fee. Is that what you're trying to say? So players can start playing without any initial fee, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So players can start playing with no initial fee, and then when they start earning, so it's when they want to withdraw that they're going to have to figure out how to get a whole wallet and things like that.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much for breaking that down. I think that makes it really simple to understand. Can you tell us a bit more about the NFTs in the Affyn marketplace, like the utilities behind it and everything?
Sure. Okay, let me first address the problem that the gaming industry right now is facing. I'll give you an example. So my dad, right, he plays this horse racing game, right? And he spent a lot of money to level up his horse, and breed it. He buy and stuff like that. So one day the game decided, okay, we are going to stop the game. So all his effort is gone together with the game, right? So which also means to say that he don't own the horse, right? It's owned by the gaming company. So why we decided to utilize the NFT blockchain technology is because we want to return ownership to players. So for example, let's say when you start the game, all right, you can go and capture them, you can go and buy them, all right. But when you own a body, you really own it, all right. Okay, it's yours. It's not owned by the company, all right. And this body of yours, you can train it. You can take them with you to go and help you earn through the quest, earn through all the activities, go on raids, go on PvP, go on quests and campaigns and stuff like that. So it's basically your buddy, and this buddy, all right, they will evolve, as they level up. Think of it like a Digimon, right? You are training it, and it can level up. And our vision, right? It's we don't want it to be like, oh, you are just collection only. We want you to create a relationship with your buddy. So when your buddy is growing, we want our players to grow old together with their buddies. So one day we'll also, like Facebook, show memories of them. This is how your buddy looked like when. Right. So I want you to think of Nexus, which is our metaverse world, okay, as a training ground for your buddies. It's just the first stop only. So this is the place where you train them, you grow their attributes, their strengths, and etc. etc. And eventually, right, these NFTs, these buddies, right, it's transferable to other games of different genres. Right, so let's say you got bored playing Nexus, the Nexus world, it's the same, everything here again, and we understand that gamers' attention span is very short, and they always want new stuff, they always want new games, right? So instead of us trying to continue please playing our game, we intend to go to build a multiverse concept where there are other games, where there are other games, okay, and where the buddies, right, can be transferable to maybe a war game, and the attributes that they train in Nexus is transferable there, and they can play that new game. And if they're bored of their game, they can go to a new game and new game and new game again, with the same NFT, with the same body they have been built, that they have a relationship with. Yes.
Oh, yep. Nice. Yep. Okay. I like this whole evolution. I like this whole growing old with your buddy. I like this. That's really, really great. Thank you so much for breaking that down. That sounds amazing. Okay. I just want to touch on a few things. So a few gaming projects right about now have delayed their launches. You've opted in to keep on track with your roadmaps. Can you tell us a bit more about your milestones that you've achieved and any sort of future milestones you're looking forward to?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I understand why many projects would delay the launch based on the market condition. And again, it's really about the priority and the focus of each project and each company. And there is no right and wrong, whether you delay or don't delay. It's really basically what we prioritize. So what we prioritize is never about the short-term price action. It's never about the short-term hype. It's really about the substance of the project, right? What we are doing. So our focus and priority is always about building things that are for the long term. It's about community first, and it's delivering products that our users want, right? Consumers, real consumers that buy our token for using it, that's our priority. So irregardless of market condition, all right, that doesn't deter our priority. So whether we list it now, we list it later, listing later will affect our roadmap and delay the development of the product. So that's why we decided to just follow through on it, all right, and we can focus on developing the products and executing our timeline, our roadmap based on the planned timeline. So that is our priority, right? Yep. And okay, so one of the key things that we want to achieve this year, some of the key milestones, it's our alpha version. It's projected to be around Q2 of this year, latest Q3. All right. There'll be a game demo trailer. Okay, we have one upcoming one that we are very excited. On the 4th of February. So the concept of, and you'll start to she put a finger, and then she entered into the whole screen tear, and she entered into the whole Max's world. So that is the concept that we are. And ring, right? Okay, we are going to give it a name. We haven't finalized on the name, but so far what we have talked about is to call it the Founders Ring. And this ring is an NFT that give you exclusive access to things that others will not be able to go to. And these are only purchasable with Affyn token. So this is what that will be one of our first NFT that we'll start. So 4th of February will be our first trailer. And moving on, that will be one of, we spent a lot of effort. It's a almost 30-man team for develop the product. Then moving on to Q2, Q3 will be our alpha, okay, and quarter 3 will be our land sale. So this is our biggest and most important milestone of the year, and it's purchasable only with Affyn token. Now, we already have heard from the community that the excitement for the land is already beginning, even though we are like 8 months away. People wanting to asking, oh, Lucas, can you reserve the Eiffel Tower area for me? I want to own the Marina Bay China, how much I'm willing to buy. So they're all buying Affyn token now because they need the token to buy the land. And when people are buying these tokens, right, I'm not thinking about selling, they are buying so that they can accumulate enough for the land, which will drive token demand all the way until our land sale. So that will be our main key focus milestone this year. And we aim to launch our beta by end of this year, if not quarter 1 of next year. Yep. So this is our 12 months timeline.
Nice. Oh my God, I'm so excited to see the trailer. So you said 4th of Feb for the trailer.
Yeah. So we already have a teaser
next week. Okay.
People were like, wow, they put in a ring and then it suddenly just disappeared.
I'm excited to see this trailer next week. Okay, perfect. I'll definitely check it out and tell you what I think. I'm really excited about that. And the land sale, yeah, that's going to be incredible. So people are really making reservations on where they want for the land already, nice and early.
Yeah, they are saying, oh, come on, please reserve for me. My aunt, my relatives is like, oh, please reserve it for me. It's like
reserving it for your family members.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, that's amazing. You got some really, really great milestones to look forward to. So that's super exciting. Which leads us on to partnerships. Everyone knows how important partnerships are with crypto projects. So tell us a bit more about the partnerships you've got already. Any ones that are coming up in the future? Any ones that you're excited about?
Okay, when you look at our tokenomics, right, we in the very beginning, when we structure our tokenomics to have 18 months vesting, 6 months cliff, we were very worried, right? Whether people will, buy into it, because in the crypto space, it's a very, short-term, fast money place. And when we structure it, we were thinking, what if nobody actually, trust us or invest in us with such a long vesting period? But the thing is, we decided to still go ahead with it because we realized that that if we don't stick to our principles and our core value of building long term, we'll always attract the short term partners in. So that's the reason why we structured the tokenomics this way, and we decided to just give it a shot. And we have been very proud, very honored, I would say that many of these VCs, partners, all believed in us and say, oh, okay, 18 months vesting, 6 months leave. We are here with you for the long term. So many of our partners have been supporting us, and some of them are saying that, okay, after your token listing, we want your token to be integrated in our platform so that your users can use it to purchase products and services in the real world already. We have even a wine company saying, oh, we want to work with you already so that your users can come and buy. We accept your tokens, things like that, right? And people are excited about our vision and our direction, and the value that we bring, not just to our consumers, but also to our partners. But moving onward, when we talk about future partnerships, we intend to have some really huge partnerships in the future. Okay, but of course we can't diverge the names now. All right, but as we grow bigger and start having more development, I would say that you can stay tuned to some really exciting names in the pipeline. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, perfect. So everyone will look forward to finding out about all these names in the pipeline. So yeah, definitely. And what we'll do is we'll drop your socials at the end of this AMA so people can stay tuned on your Telegram, your announcements with your Twitter and everything like that, so they can stay up to date with everything that's going on with Affyn. What I want to talk about now is I want to talk about the utility and the tokenomics of Affyn token, because I heard a bit about that you're not going to have staking and things like that. So it'd be great if you can run people through the utility and the tokenomics.
Yeah. So there are many projects, right? I'm not saying all of them, right? Because I've been in the crypto space since 2016, and and staking, proof of stake has been implemented for a purpose, right? Okay, but and it's really to for the purpose of decentralization and making the network work, right? So, but the thing it evolved until the point where staking becomes a gimmick to ask people, don't stick tokens so that people don't sell, so that's it becomes a gimmick already, that you put in there, you can get 1,000 APY, 2,000 APY, right? And it does not make any sense at all to have such crazy APY APR, right? So and when the moment once you do staking, right, okay, there is these tokens that everybody are getting. So when you stake certain token, let's say you stake Fin token, 1,000 Fin token, where you get 1,400 Fin token, the question becomes, where does this 400 tokens come from, right? And when you're taking this 400, you must understand everybody around you are also taking the same 400. There is this bubble effect. So you're actually creating inflation out of nowhere. And it's a very short-term solution to prevent dumping, but it will eventually, snowball into a long-term problem that you cannot rectify, right? So that's the reason why we don't want to do staking, and we don't want to go do the burning mechanism, the staking, and all these kind of things. Reason why, because our main focus is on utility, creating products that people want, so that people buy the token and then use on the token. So that's where we feel that our demand of the token will come from, rather than from staking and burning mechanism.
Okay, thank you so much for explaining that. So, since the player will be earning Fin tokens, what will be the strategy adopted to keep the value of the token to keep increasing, so the value keeps going up? Because
okay,
yeah.
So when you talk about token value increasing, right? Okay, there must be people buying it, right? Right. Okay, there must be. Okay, fundamentally, it's simple. There's a limited supply, right? Okay, and when you have more buyers than sellers, that's where price appreciates. Okay, so now, right, how do you maintain the value or keep on increasing? It's where you do things that have more buyers, right? For the long term, for short term, it's speculation. Speculation you cannot control, right? Speculators, when they buy, they eventually sell. So it's just that's why you see market cycles.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
right? But the thing is, when you focus on developing products of value that consumers want, real buyers comes in, and these buyers are buying to use instead of selling. So I'll give an example. Let's say we sell NFT. Let's say we sell an NFT, right? Okay. Now, for the user who wants this NFT, this buddy, they have to buy Fin token to get the NFT, to get a buddy, right? So they are not thinking of selling the Fin token rate. It's transferring of assets to another place, right? So the more money comes in to buy Fin token, the higher the value it will go, because there's a limited supply. So the more buyers and the lesser sellers, there are less sellers, eventually the price will definitely go up. So that's where
Okay, perfect. Thanks for explaining that. Nowadays, a lot of people love giving their opinion with tokens, and they like to have a say. And I know the community a lot of the time want to have a say. Does a token give participants any sort of governance, right? So you can do any sort of like a DAO or anything like that?
For the very beginning, we won't be doing governance. Reason why is because in the beginning we need to lead the direction of the project For example, if this decentralization have its benefit, if it have its good and bad, right? If it's in the very beginning, it's all over the place. Everybody wants this way, some people wants this way, so you are dividing people if you do it in the very beginning, right? But if you set a direction in the beginning for us to dictate the direction, okay, this is the direction, this is the culture, okay, this is our values, and this is what we intend to do. Once it's set in place already, and the community and user base is large enough, and the culture is already set in place, then we'll talk about doing governance and to decentralize it.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, so you're looking to do that in the future. So the community will have their say in the future, but in the meantime, you want to get things in place first, and then you'll take the feedback and then community, things like that. So
yeah.
Future. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much for answering all those questions. You've given brilliant answers and you've gone into detail. I love that. The people on Twitter have asked so many questions. So we've had hundreds of questions on Twitter, but don't worry, we're not going to make you answer hundreds of questions. We've selected only a few for you to answer. So is it all right if you jump into the Twitter questions?
Yeah, you should go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So this question is from Ben Stock on Twitter, and he said all project coins have their main utilities and real life use. So can you tell us what the main role of your coin is in your ecosystem? Explain its utilities, real life use cases, and why I should invest in a coin in the long term. I thought you touched up on that previously before, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. One thing that makes us, there are coins that have utility in the virtual world and the real world. Yes, I agree, all right? But I want to bring this up another notch, all right? Where you see, if there's token utility, okay, let's talk about the real world aspect, all right? Let's say you buy a Coca-Cola, right? It's safe. I don't know, in the US it costs how much? I don't know. Let's say $8, right?
$8.
I went to Europe, $8. So
$8.
And let's say a meal costs $10, example,
okay,
right? And if you pay in fiat money is $10, and if you pay in Fin token is $10, there's no purpose of using Fin token, right? Why one Fin token? I just use fiat. That's all. It's simple. It's something that I'm more familiar with, and it's faster. So what's the purpose of Fin token this way? So what we intend to do with Fin is we want to be different from everyone else, is we're going to give slight benefits, at least clear benefits enough for consumers to, Fin is more valuable than fiat. So what we're going to do is, number one, when you pay for the meal, instead of it's $10, you pay at $8. All right? Okay. Or another way, it's when you pay for the meal, you get an additional complimentary free dessert. Right? So this way, as a consumer, I walk into the restaurant and I saw on the banner, fiat, pay cash, $10, pay Fin, $8. What is this Fin? I register an account and thinking why be so hard to pay cash? I'll use my cash to buy Fin to get the benefit. So this way, right, money flows into the ecosystem. You get it? And stays in. Yeah, and that we attract a completely untapped market, which is the non-crypto, to buy our token. They don't buy to speculate. They don't care about crypto. They just want.
I see that. I see how you're incentivizing people. That's really cool. That's cool.
Right. Sorry. I want to highlight one more thing. So some people think, it's too good to be true. How are you going to do this? One thing you must understand, I've been doing this for almost 10 years already in the lifestyle aspect. So how are we going to get benefits and stuff like that? It's number one, you must understand what merchants are always looking for. They are always trying ways to attract more customers into their businesses, right? So they are already giving out vouchers, 20% vouchers, $10 vouchers, or come to my restaurant and eat. So they're already doing all this. So what we do on Affyn, it's here we have a large user base. Do you want us to drive traffic to your location? All right, every time we bring people to a location, you give them a better pricing or you give them special benefits. So that's how we collaborate with merchants.
Oh, I see. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, I guess with your 10-year experience, you know what you're doing. So yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for answering Ben's question. The next question is from Black Rose on Twitter, and they said, I want to know more about the Nexus World gameplay. Tell us more about it. How many characters, elements are available in your game? How many battle modes are there? How is the game designed? And also, how can we generate profits through the game? So basically, just want to know more about the game.
Sure. Okay, so if you understand Pokemon Go, right, the framework, it's about the same. It's about we are replicating the framework, just that we are adding a little bit more details into it, particularly the play to earn aspect of it. So to simplify it, all right, it's a very complex. To talk about it in detail takes very long, but to just simplify the idea of it, there'll be a lot of a small little quest. Take for example, like, oh, we need help to research 3 birds, all right, and these are how they look like. If you can help us capture these 3 birds, all right, you'll be rewarded Affyn token. It's for research purpose, so there's a story mode inside, right? So people can go and catch it, find it, and they submit for research and they earn Affyn token. That's one. When they capture the buddies, they can do battles, for example, small little quest battles, and they can earn Affyn token. They can go check in at specific landmarks. They can do PvP, player versus player, PvE events, raids, and one of our key feature is the augmented reality campaign. So for example, we're going to drive 20, 30 characters into one specific location, a shopping mall, and there's one unique NFT. Let's say Gagamaru. Whoever found Gagamaru will win a trip to Paris. So everybody will go to this. Oh, we're going to find Gagamaru. Right? But there's one specific criteria that you cannot do this alone. You need to do it with a friend or family member. All right. So this achieves 2 things. Number one, it achieves our core mission, which is to bring people together. All right. Second thing, it also drives user acquisition, because if you cannot do it alone, you have to ask your friends and family member to, hey, come register and download and go with me to the shopping mall. Right? So this way our user acquisition also grow together at the same time. Right? So this is our key feature, and everybody will have fun, a lot of fun in the shopping mall. So if in a broader, right, there'll be small events, small quest, mid event, big event, all leading up to what we call the ultimate rate in 1 year. It's a seasonal thing. Every 12 months, that's what we call the ultimate rate. So the ultimate rate is where we accumulate the entire year who dealt the most damage. The top 100 will be invited to the ultimate rate. So this ultimate rate, it will be in one specific location, let's say Milan, right? And we will have a large monster, big character, that this 100 need to defeat them, this monster. So if this 100 of them defeat, they will earn some unique NFT and some special rewards. But we will drive a lot of eyeballs at Milan. Yep. And then the next year, start of the season. Yep. So everything is all leading up to the ultimate rate. Yep.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's exciting. So everyone's trying to go to Milan then. Okay, that's good. That's nice. That's exciting. That's a good way of getting people really, really involved. I like that. That's perfect. Thank you for answering that question. The next question is from QM Boss, also on Twitter, and they said non-crypto users is very important for mainstream adoption. How do you plan to attract non-crypto users towards your project? If there's any partnerships that will bring non-crypto users and real case. I feel like you touched upon this question earlier, but yeah.
Okay. So since he asked this, and I touched a bit, maybe I can elaborate a little bit more. All right. So there are many ways, but particularly there'll be 2 ways. Okay. So one way, just like I mentioned, remember, Sofitel Hotel, $69. So some people will be asking, okay, how are you going to get $69 Paris for these 3 nights, right? So this is already part of the connections that I've been building all these years. That's one thing, and the strategy I've been doing to negotiate all these deals. So I give you an example. Let's say Marina Bay Sands. Do you know Marina Bay Sands in Singapore? Have you heard of it? The infinity pool in Singapore?
Yeah, I have never been there though, but yeah.
Yeah. So
One day.
to stay in Marina Bay Sands in Singapore, per night retail costs $300 USD minimum. All right. But all right, for my side, I'll be able to get it under $100. So how am I going to do this is I can negotiate with the hotel deals, all right, and get it let's say I book 1,000 rooms, right, and I negotiate it to be $99, example, right? So this normally how travel agents will mark up and sell to retailers. Okay, so at this $99, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small loss of $40 per room. Okay, so this $40 small loss per room means to say one room only costs $60 for 2 people, which also means to say per person, Marina Bay Sands only costs $29. Do you understand now? So when I put Marina Bay Sands 29 on the app, all right, 1,000, which also means to say be able to drive 2,000 non-crypto people into my app to register as a user to buy the token to go to Marina Bay Sands.
Oh my gosh, I like your thinking. That's clever, very clever.
Right. So once they enter into Marina Bay Sands, they will see a big banner. Oh, welcome Affinians. They buy the item, they get the welcome gifts, everything showing Affyn. I'm telling you, what are these consumers thinking? They'll be thinking, wow, so amazing. I'm part of this community. They're going to take picture, take video, and post it all over social media. So it's free advertising for us. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you look at what I'm doing, 1,000 rooms, $40 loss per room means my loss, okay, my expenses is only 40,000 USD. What is 40,000 to drive user acquisition and free and real marketing? These are not paid marketing. These are people who are purely excited and telling their friends, oh, I'm a Marina Bay Sands, it's $29. Go, I love Affyn. And everyone say, oh, Affyn, $40. Right? And this is just one trip only. So this is one way we're going to drive user acquisition of mainstream adoption. Second is we're going to incentivize merchants. For example, let's say you have a shop, let's say a cafe in, let's say you have a cafe. So consumers walk in, merchants are incentivized to refer these users to join in as a user. Why? Because whatever this user spends inside the ecosystem, the merchant will earn a percentage of all transactions that the user spend. So literally, you know that, okay, when they come in, they say, oh, which credit card you want to use? Why not you join Affyn? There's a QR code here, join in, right? So for us, right, okay, we have a whole network of merchants bringing in non-crypto people, non-users into the ecosystem, working for us. So they have physical location, bringing in traffic in for us. And this is two of the ways that we are driving users in. Yep.
Oh wow, I like your marketing skills. They're crazy. That's really exciting. I like the way you've explained it. That breakdown was brilliant. And it's a great way to get promotion. So I really like that. That's really exciting. I know we got a lot of questions from the community. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the chat for 120 seconds so the community can drop their questions in. So we are going to open up that chat for the community, and you've got 120 seconds to get your questions in for Lucaz, and he'll answer some of your questions. So we're going to open up the chat from now.
Well, okay. So all the questions are in.
Yeah. So we're going to give them 2 minutes to drop all their questions in, and then you can go through questions and answer the questions you would like to answer.
Okay. That's Affyn. Okay. So I'll pick the questions to answer. Is it 5 questions?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, it'll be basically 5 questions. You can put any questions you want, and yeah, if you can read out the name of the user and their question, and then answer the question.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Perfect. Yeah, you can forward it on. Yeah, the questions. That'd be good. So we have their names, the winners.
Okay. So what do I need to do? I just read out the name and the question. Is it?
Yeah, and then if you could just also forward on the question, just so we have the name of the user. Yeah. So we have the at me in it, so we can forward on the question, so we can contact the winners at the end.
Right. Yeah. So let me do it now. Okay. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, I answered some of these questions already. Okay, maybe let me reply this one. Here, let me hi. So I say a hi, right? When I just reply this like that, is it?
Yeah, you could just reply it, and if you read it out and then read out your answer for the
Okay,
user.
so this question is: Affyn leads crypto into mainstream and aims to bring people closer and remind the world what really matters in life. You must have had moments that led to Affyn's vision. We like to share a story that made you realize what really matters in life are our friends and family. Can you introduce your team to us? What are their qualifications and experience? So, yep, let me answer this question. Okay, because for me, when I was in university, I was working 3 jobs from Monday to Sunday, morning to night, because I wanted to make money to return my school loan debt, and I wanted to make money to, give my parents a good life. So that was when I was 24 years old. 23, 24 years old, so 10 over years ago. I'm 34, by the way. And during those times, I worked for the next 9 years, really hard. Went into entrepreneurship, started doing sales and marketing, started leading teams. And all these 9 years, I was spending most of my time and my focus on building a great career. But I neglected my family members and my friends. And it was only until the COVID-19 situation that there was a lockdown initiative in Singapore that we were forced to stay at home. And I realized that during those time was the greatest moment of my life, because I started bonding with my family members, my parents especially, and I started to communicate with my friends also, and I started putting work aside for the very first time in my life. Not first time in my life, first time in 9 to 10 years. And I started to realize that, that the bond with my family was so meaningful. It made me realize that, everything in life, it's very flaky, but what has real meaning in life, it's our family members and our friends that matter to us. Because there are many things that come and go. Money come and go, acquaintances come and go, but your family members are what truly matters the most. It reminded me that at the end of the day, this is the thing that mattered the most. And most people, it's when they lose something, then they realize how important it is. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity that, because of a lockdown initiative, it made me realize our priority in life, it's our family members and friends. So that's why I wanted to create something to remind the world, that thing matters. So yep, I hope this answered the question.
Yeah, that was a great question.
So number. Okay. Let me see. So a lot of question about competition. Okay, I think some of these questions I've answered also. So
yeah, you have.
Okay. A lot competition, marketing strategy. Okay, maybe I do one okay, wait, let me see. Hackers. Okay, maybe let me reply this question.
Cool.
Okay, so for players and users with a quick profit-making mentality, I wonder how Affyn balances playability and the long-term nature of the project. Of course, for currency that investors, how does Affyn entice them to hold it for a long time? From Wahyu. So now, of course, in the crypto space, right, it's I would say majority are short-term profit mentality, profit-making mentality. That's really in the crypto space, but there are also long-term profit mentality people that. Okay, so when you talk about short-term profit, I'll give you an example of how to differentiate these two, right? Short-term profit mentality, when they buy, right, okay, they are thinking of selling to the next speculator. These are the short-term profit thinking mentality. They will want to know, are you going to list on a tier 1 exchange? Do you all this kind of thing to pump the price so that they can actually profit from the next speculation. So the next person who buy from you are also speculators or people who FOMO. That's how short-term players work. All right. For long-term players, right, when they buy in, right, all right, they are thinking it's your project succeed, and when they profit off real customers. So they hold the token until the point where the game matures, and real consumers buy the tokens to use. So when real consumers buy the tokens to use, right, these consumers are buying from the long-term holders who held it on from the very beginning. Right, so that's our direction. And of course, if you ask us how we're going to achieve that, to balance it, we don't intend to find short-term gimmicks to entice short-term holders to hold it. All right, we don't even mind if they sell it. Right, in fact, the more short-term holders sell, the better it is for us. It's because we needed to filter short-term holders and to really grow a strong foundation, a community of long-term holders, right? So it's really about, that's the reason why in the very beginning we set the direction, we set the culture, we set the nature of the project, that we are here for the long term and we are not going to do anything gimmicky to entice you to hold, right? You're going to sell it, sell it. The people who are long-term believers will hold it, right? So it's really about not being afraid to reject people, not being afraid to filter, not being afraid to tell people you can sell it, right? Because we are here for the long term. All right. So I hope we answer this question. Basically, as we want to build this for the long term, we have to, at the end of the day, it's about building products that real consumers want it. All right. So that's how we build things for the long term. All right. All right. Okay. Okay, maybe another one, it's okay. Oh, finally I get to answer a question like for this. Yeah. So somebody asked, many play-to-earn game projects collapse due to game economy being non-sustainable and token losing value of people leaving the game due to very low rewards. What long-term strategy does Affyn's integrated ecosystem that will allow to create a sustainable business model? So from BB Fee, right? So the reason why I like to answer this question, it's because I spent one entire year, all right, blood, sweat, and tears to design a detailed blueprint to resolve this problem. So this was our biggest challenge. And this was the time we spent the most, right, trying to resolve this problem. Okay, so that's and if you ask question to other projects how they're going to overcome this, they don't have a really clear answer. But whereas we have a very clear answer, right? So let me share with you. I can share with you the full blueprint. That's our secret formula. But I can share with you the generic concept so that you understand. Let me give you an idea. I give you take for example our augmented reality campaigns, right? When we drive traffic to one specific location, okay, each person that goes there is this metric called cost per visit, CPV. With CPV, there is advertising revenue generated for the company, right? So we are driving traffic to, let's say, a shopping mall, and the shopping mall will pay us in fiat revenue. So when this fiat revenue comes in, all right, we will take a portion of it to buy back from the secondary market and reward back to the players. All right, so to help you understand, give you more context of this question, right, is that number one, if you look at most companies, right, most play-to-earn games, you always have to ask yourself, when players play the game, okay, let's say there's 1 million players every day playing, each person, all right, earns, let's say, $10 per day. Means to say that there's $10 million outflow of rewards to players every single day. So now the question becomes, where does this $10 million come from? Who is taking money out from their own pocket, $10 million every day to reward to players, right? So now next question is, when players receive these rewarded tokens already, what can they do with these tokens, right? If they cannot use in the real world, you see, players are also real people who need to pay for rent, pay for expenses, pay for food in the real world. If they cannot play in the real world, would you all agree that they will have to sell their tokens, right? If they have limited ability in the metaverse, they will also sell their tokens. So the mindset of all these 1 million players will be thinking, when I receive my token, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it. Since I got nothing to do with it, I have to sell it. The third question you have to ask yourself is, when there's nothing to use for this token, is when they sell it, right, who are they selling it to? Who's actually buying the token reward? All right. so when there's no utility, the next buyer are the suckers. You see, so you're selling tokens to the next buyer who don't even realize that the token has no utility. You get it? So eventually, once the hype is gone, right, the token will just have a landslide because it doesn't answer these three questions. Where does the money come from? What can the token be used for? And who are the players selling it to, right? So whereas for us, very clearly, number one, the money comes from fiat revenue, which is from our merchant B2B. All right. Of course, there are many things that we do also for where the money comes from. That's number one. Number two, okay, what can the tokens be used for? For us, right, we can be used for inside the metaverse to buy land, buy NFTs, and participate in events and stuff like that. And also they can spend in the real world for dining, shopping, entertainment, travel, etc., etc. All right, that's the second question. The third thing, who are they selling it to? Who are the buyers of this token? Same thing.
Lucas, I think you just froze.
Okay. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Yeah.
So to answer the third thing, it's who are the buyers who are, who are the people buying the tokens, are the ones who want to use the tokens in the metaverse and in the real world, who want to enjoy the benefits of the token. So we are answering these three questions, and that resolves the sustainability issue. All right. Okay. Okay. Let me answer this question.
Okay.
Collaboration and partnerships. Okay. So now, collaborations and partnerships are some of the most important cornerstones to help improve adoption. Can you tell us about your current partners, plans for partnerships, and what everybody stand to gain from these partners? All right. Okay. So let me know if I'm freezing again.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you freeze. You're good. You're good for now.
Yeah. Okay. So now, right, there are, what you see on the website are our current partners, but there are a lot of partners that we have not named yet. Mainly, it's because of business competition issues. We don't want to give out some of these names because these are very important names. We don't want to affect anything to have this relationship with some of these companies. So some of these companies are established names in the lifestyle industry. They have 4,000, 5,000 merchants behind their name. Companies like Nike, Under Armour, Expedia, Booking.com, all of this, they have a whole backing of all these merchants. So I work with some of these companies for a couple of years already. And what we're going to do is we're going to collaborate with them to integrate our token with them such that our consumers will be able to utilize the tokens that is inside their ecosystem, right? For example, so from the back end, right, okay, it's an integration with this company that will give us access to all their thousands of merchants. For example, Nike, Under Armour, Expedia, all this, all right? But from the front end, right, okay, users don't see this company. What they see is they see Nike, Under Armour, Expedia, Booking Now. So these are all related brands that consumers can see, and that's how we're going to integrate our token with all of these companies, right? And we can't give up all of these names now until we have signed and come to an agreement on how to execute this integration, right? So, but that's giving you an idea of what we intend to do and how we intend to do it, right? So, because last time I also got excited about, wow, we already partnered with them and we give out names, and it always screw up our partnership. So we learned our lesson today. All right. So is it the last question?
Yeah, last question now.
Okay.
Lucky number 5.
Okay, let me reply this question. Right.
Okay.
Okay, as we know, the gap between traditional gamers and blockchain gamers is still very big. How can we bridge this to attract more traditional players to try new blockchain-based games? And can you give us what are your plans to expand the adoption of this project? So the reason why I picked this question, right, it's because this is a very important factor that make us very different and drive us into adoption. And also because as I was scrolling down, I see a lot of people asking this question also as well. So I think maybe I can repeat this again because I've also gave some context. Now, traditional gamers and blockchain gamers, it's very big mainly because most mainstream people don't know how to set up a crypto wallet or not educated about crypto or NFTs and stuff like that. All right. So how we're going to bridge this, right, is our vision. It's okay. In Singapore, there's a company called Grab. Grab. I don't know if y'all know. Grab is like the equivalent of Uber, right? So it's a ride-sharing app, but they are the biggest in Southeast Asia. So Grab concept is you take cars, like Uber like that, ride share, and you can earn points, and all these points can be utilized in all of the merchants and stuff like that. So, and if users wants to buy points, they can just pay with credit or debit card, and they have points and they can use it. All right. So how are we gonna do this, right? It's when we want to move into mainstream adoption, we won't approach the direction and say, oh, we are blockchain gaming. All right, because consumers don't care if you're blockchain or non-blockchain. They only want to know, is it fun? Is it beneficial for me? Am I right to say that? So how we're going to do this is when new users register an account with Affyn, as I mentioned, it's as simple as registering a Facebook or a TikTok account. Just connect to Google or Facebook and you have an account already and you can start playing already. And when they want to buy land, they want to buy the NFTs, they want to participate in those events, they need Affyn token. So when users want to enjoy the benefits in the metaverse or in the real world, they have to buy Affyn. But now, right, these traditional players and users, mainstream people, they don't even realize it's powered by blockchain or crypto. We don't need to tell them. Okay, because you educate about blockchain is like educating the world about Java, HTML, program. Hey, computers now you just use it, you just click and click and click. You don't even realize it's powered by all this programming, right? So how we're gonna adopt this is when players buy our Affyn token, they use credit and debit card and they purchase it as if and thinking that are points, but they don't even realize it's crypto or powered by blockchain, and that is how we achieve mainstream adoption. Yeah. So if you talk about crypto, blockchain, or metaverse wallet, all this kind of thing, it's going to confuse the crap out of everyone. Yeah. So that's how we're going to do this.
Thanks for answering that last question. That's great. Thank you so much to the community for answering all their great questions. Lucas Lee, thank you so much for being here today. I'm sure the whole Gamestation community is so grateful for answering all our questions, all the Twitter questions and the questions from the community. What we're going to do is we're going to drop all your socials in the chat so people can follow your Telegram, your Twitter, and find out about announcements, because we're all super duper excited about the launch. And thank you so much again for being here. I don't know if you have any final words for the Gamestation community.
Yeah, so thank you and appreciate the Gamestation for inviting me to this AMA. Thank you, Kathy, for being an amazing host, man. Very patient and very engaging. So lovely to have you as a host. And of course, thank you everybody for your participation, your questions, your interest, and and excitement about Affyn. So I'm really excited. This is just the very beginning. We are listing this coming Saturday, but this is just the very beginning of our journey. I hope all of you continue to follow us on this journey as we start to not only revolutionize the play to earn space, but to really bring blockchain and crypto into mainstream adoption. And I'm excited, all of us here, to see this vision happen together, and we'll win big together. Thank you very much.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm going to look out for the trailer next week as well, the one that's cool. So I'll let you know what I think about that. But thank you so much for being here. The whole Gamestation community is so grateful and wishing you a great day.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.